Hi, welcome. It's Monday and we're back with our usual live cooking lesson from Italy. We'll jump on in a minute and find Livia in her kitchen. We're also going to be chatting today about our up and coming wine tasting that we're running. Hopefully some of you might be able to join us on our wine tasting online on Thursday. And we've also got this really lovely Flavours magazine that we're going to be, that we're going to be chatting about as well. Hopefully some of you can get a copy as well, which would be great. Anyway, let's find Livia. Hello.
Ecco, hello, buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Come va?
Benissimo. Not bad.
Bene. I guess there's no more wind over there because it's all coming down here.
Yeah, I know.
You've sent us the wind.
I know.
Very windy today. Yeah, I think it's the end of everything you had is ending up here. So it's very windy. Like everything is blowing away. So I don't know how you did in these days.
No, it's been all everyone's just been staying at home and snuggling under the duvet and cooking and eating. I think there's been nothing else for it. But I think there's another one coming. I think we've had Eunice and then there's another one coming. But anyway, yeah, good day to be in the house, cooking in the kitchen. It's probably the best thing. How was your weekend, Livia?
Weekend was very busy. We've done the lessons and we've done some fish recipes and also aperitivo earlier, mixed fried. You know, we're about to be at Carnival. So actually here you fry a lot of things for Carnival. So that's why frying recipes are due in this time of the year. And everything else, fine. It's sunny and warm, really warm, very strange. Like yesterday I checked the temperature outside and it was 18. So it's very warm all of a sudden from 2 days before, cooler. So it seems like spring is coming already, Lorna.
Oh, excellent. Brilliant. Yeah, and you're off to Tuscany. Holidays.
Yeah, can you see me? I don't know. I hope my connection is fine this time.
Yeah. No, you're off.
I don't know if something's wrong with me or I hope not. Okay, I guess we have our usual technical problems. No, are you okay, Lon? Can you?
Yeah, I'm fine. No, I can see you if you can see me.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. What are we cooking today?
Yes, today we are going to do a typical recipe from Tuscany. So we can talk a little bit about Tuscany. Okay. So the recipe is Crespelle La Fiorentina. Okay, so very typical, even more than Tuscany, really Florence recipe. It goes back to the 15th century, so 1500, and it goes back to Caterina dei Medici, which was part of the Medici family. Actually, you know that Toscans usually are very proud of their culture and their cooking, and they say they have invented everything, right? So most of the most famous traditional recipes from all over around Europe, I would say, they think they've been invented, and maybe they are right, because Caterina dei Medici was promised as a wife for Enrico II. Yeah, I don't know how to say it in English, but you know, the French one, Enrico II, and she became actually the queen, let's say, of France. Okay, so when she got married, she had to change her habits in terms of what she was eating, and she didn't want to. So she brought all of her staff and cooks and people that was working for her in the kitchen, because she was really into cooking, and she brought them with her in France. So she took them over there. And actually, guess what? She is the one that have invented crepes. So they are not actually French. They are not a French recipe, but they are Italian, and they are actually called crespelle. Okay, so not crepes, but crespelle. And in this recipe, we are going to do them the way she has, invented, but then it's been a little bit changed and adapted in the 1800s, when Artusi, which is the gastronomy writer that we always talk about, wrote down the recipe, and he wrote it in his book, and he changed slightly the recipe that originally it was called like pezzole della nonna in salsa di colla, okay, which pezzole, it's like, let's say, a napkin, something you fold over your hair with, okay, to cover your hair and your head. So actually, originally this recipe was made in the countryside around Florence, and it was made with little frittate. Okay, and everyone knows what is frittate, so it's just an egg frittata. Okay, and it was stuffed with courgettes at the beginning, and then in the 1800s, that was the recipe from Caterina dei Medici. Then she went in the 1500s. Caterina dei Medici went. Are you okay, Lorna?
Yes,
Everything is fine. Yeah. Okay. No, just to know if you can hear me or talking by myself. Okay. So Caterina dei Medici, 1500, went to get married to the French king, and she brought this tradition to make these spezzole, which are then called crespelle, because they were crispy or with wrinkles, let's say. And then in the 1800s, they've been transformed and called Crespelle alla Fiorentina, with as a stuffing ricotta, then spinach that you can see in the other picture, okay, and obviously some grated cheese that nowadays it's Parmigiano. Okay, so to make crespelle, which in the past were like little frittate, okay, we have simple ingredients, just eggs and flour and milk. Okay, so it's a butter, as you call it. They have to rest a little bit before being cooked, but we will do it straight away in this case. Then we will prepare the stuffing. I've already made bechamel behind me. You can see it, okay, just not to keep you here waiting for me to get ready. And then we're going to cook them in the oven. So this is original recipe from Florence, and stuffed this way, they are called alla Fiorentina. You know, Lorna, that when you say something Fiorentino is an adjective that describes something that comes from Florence, right? Quindi, okay. Alla Fiorentina means made the Florence way. Okay.
Right, okay.
So now I'm going to turn on here the flame because I need some butter, okay, to melt, okay.
Yeah.
Because it's going to...
Yeah, I was just saying earlier, Livia, actually, that's good you picked Crespelle La Fiorentina, because it's a really nice article that you helped us with in the magazine. I don't know if everyone got a copy of the magazine. If you haven't, let me know and I can get you a copy sent out in the post. But it's a really nice article that you did, Livia, about how to spend a perfect day in Florence. Very
okay,
nice.
So it was the interview. Yeah, I remember we've done it actually while I was there with the group. And I describe exactly what we usually do when we go to Florence with a guest.
Yeah.
So, wow, is the first number of the magazine, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah, this is the winter edition, actually. If you're on the Flavours, if you've had a brochure from us, you would have got one through the post. And we've gone back to sending out brochures, sort of magazines in the post. It's quite nice, actually. There's an article, there's your article about how to spend a perfect day in Florence.
Also, a drinking... part of the day is about drinking, actually, in Florence. Meanwhile, I'm boiling the spinach over here, which are going to be used for the stuffing, just to say what I'm doing. You can see
it. That's perfect.
And I remember in the afternoon, usually we go to taste Negroni. So I take the guest to have a Negroni shot.
Right.
So it talks about that too.
Yeah, I was watching some quiz program the other day, and they were at and Negroni. That was the question. I was like, oh, I know that answer.
So I'm going to, while we're talking, I'm going to make the butter, which is 1 egg, about, let's say, 3 spoons of, for 3 eggs, 3 spoons of flour. I'm going to do 1 egg, 1 spoon of flour, just plain flour, and I'm going to add about 100 ml of milk, okay, while we are talking about Florence, which is very interesting, actually, so... And I'm going to make the butter here. So, yeah, you are an expert of Negroni, but I don't know if you like it, because it's quite big. Do you usually... You prefer gin and tonic, I think, no?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know who's watching us today, but if you're watching us, do pop in the comments your favourite cocktail. Is it Negroni or an Aperol Spritz? They're always really popular, actually, the Aperol Spritz. But yeah, let us know what your favourite cocktail is. Why not talk about cocktails on a Monday lunchtime? What else is there to do? Eating and drinking.
Yeah. We could say, are you up for Venice with Spritz or Negroni and Tuscany then and Florence?
Yeah, that's right.
It depends really what you like, yeah. So now I'm just mixing the flour and the egg. I'm doing it actually by high because I'm used to do it by high. So I will look for, quite a thick butter at the beginning, and then I will dilute it, adding some milk. Okay, fresh milk, all milk is better, so it will give a bit of fat in the preparation. Okay. Quindi, did you know that Crespelle has been invented by Toscan people instead of France and French?
No. I always
shocking.
thought, yeah. Linda's saying it's got to be limoncello or Aperol Spritz. Yeah, limoncello, it's very, very popular as well. I always like limoncello when it's just come out of the freezer. Actually, it's nice and cold.
Well, I think if she's up for limoncello, then it means that she should go to Puglia or Amalfi, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
If someone like limoncello, that's the place to go.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember there used to be one of the cooks in Puglia used to do some really nice mandarancino? She used to make it with not lemons, but oranges, mandarins. That was really nice as well, actually.
Yes, it's really good. It's good because I think it's less, it can be less sweet. I think I've seen Antonio, who is making his own. I don't know, he made it not long ago. You usually make it before the guests get there, so you use it all season long. You serve it after dinner and after meals. Very proud of it.
Yeah, exactly. And did you make any marmalade this year? No, any orange marmalade?
No, because I don't. Well, I think he made it. No, here you see we don't have. I have to buy it. We don't have a lot of citrus fruits. So if I have to buy something that comes from I don't know where, I make it. I prefer not. So usually I do jam when I have something which is in season here. Like otherwise. Allora, now I've melted butter. Okay, I'm not using all of it, but I've melted the butter, and I'm going to add it to. Lorna, I don't know how to pronounce anything. So this is a batter. How would you call it?
Batter.
Yeah, okay. So when I say it, you change my pronunciation. So this is the butter, which I don't know how you would call it, actually. And this is the melted butter, which I'm going to mix to these ingredients. Yeah, so that to the butter, okay, so that I don't need to grease the pan all the time, okay, while I'm making crespelle. So this is going to be mixed to the butter so that it will be easier to the mixture. I don't know, maybe it's more clear if I call it this way.
Yeah, I was just reading some other comments. Anne was saying she likes limoncello, and Livia's served up the best prosecco. Yes, you're very good at prosecco, Livia, serving up.
For sure.
And Livia's Aperol. Linda's just saying your Aperol's legendary, Livia. Gosh.
Well, it's good that people remember me for certain reasons.
Yes, your famous food.
Very important. So I've melted butter here. So that, and I keep the heat on, so I'm ready to cook them. And the pan is already greased, so that's why melting the butter there is useful. I'm adding a bit of it into the mixture. This way, the mixture will be quite fat, and I should not need to grease the pan each time I'm cooking one crespella.
Crespelle. Okay, we're getting Italian lessons as well. This is great. Actually, speaking of Italian lessons, Livia, do you know why is it when people are talking about food in Italian, and very often I've heard guests, they want to say they've enjoyed something, and they often say it's molto bene, but it's not, is it? You say it's molto buono for food. If you're saying, it was a nice meal, molto buono. Do you know why it is? Do you know why that is?
We're going to a grammar lesson. I think in my previous studies, we can ask Carlo. You said he was going to be there. I hope he will come. But bene is an adverb. Okay, so you should not use it with food. Instead, when you describe a food, you use an adjective. It's buono, non bene. Bene è una cosa che è andata bene, and there's no adjective to describe it. Instead, with food, you describe it with an adjective, and adjective for food is buono in terms also of taste, because we're talking about a taste. Pure bello if it looks nice, but most important is that it's buono. I think that's the
Good.
I hope I was right.
No, I knew it was molto buono, but I couldn't have told you why it was molto buono. So well done. There.
Yeah.
You can be
But
doing
we can ask Carlo if he comes in a little while.
Yeah, that's right. He said if he comes into the office on a Monday, I said to Kieran if he's got 2 minutes to pop on, so we'll see. He's got less than 12.
We should ask him. Okay, spinach are ready, so I drained them a little bit and I cooled them down before preparing the stuffing. We are going to squeeze them dry. Vero si dice così? Squeeze them dry. It is something I've learned in English. Okay, so I leave them here.
Sunny. I can see the sunlight coming through your window, Livia. It looks lovely and sunny with you.
Very sunny and very warm. Maybe also because I turned on the oven, but it's really sunny. Yeah, it's incredible. Also warm outside. Not very windy, so I cannot open the window. Otherwise, everything will blow away. Allora, now we could let these rest a bit before cooking it, and it would be better in the fridge. Let it rest for, settle for about 15 minutes, and then we will be ready to cook it. Obviously, since I want to show you the whole process, now I'm turning up a bit the flame and the pan where I'm going to cook crespelle. So I'm going to use a measurement, a way to get the amount of the crespelle. It's to actually okay, now we got more light. Just a ladle, si dice così?
Yeah.
Okay, for each crespella. And as soon as the pan is warm, and you can see it because the first one will be a little bit more difficult because it will get obviously more fat because there is quite a lot of butter there. It won't cook perfectly, okay? But I will, if it's hot enough, it has to cook quite fast. I will, how can I describe this movement? Twist, I don't know.
I'm sure we've got all the expert cooks watching us. I'm sure we'll get some ideas. I noticed that the batter is quite liquid, isn't it? It's not particularly thick.
Yes, it doesn't have to be thick. Otherwise, if I'm trying to make crespelle which are light and not too thick and consistent. I want to make them quite also thin, let's say. Yeah. So light and thin is better. So right now, as soon as after you make this movement to make sure that it's all evenly spread all over the pan, okay, you just check if it's coming off, and it's actually already coming off. I'm now going to saute, come si dice, jump the first one because it's very greasy.
Flip. Yeah, flip.
And flip.
Yeah, flip. So Violet Ann was suggesting that movement in English is sort of to roll it around the pan, or somebody else was saying to swirl. So we've got some ideas for.
Yeah, they are nice words that describe the movement. Yeah, I think very well. But I'm checking if it's ready.
Yeah,
and then I will turn it over.
Yeah, it's always the same with pancakes. The first one's always a bit tricky, isn't it? Once you get them ready.
Yeah, you call them pancakes, like.
No, pancakes are usually they're sort of much thicker batter and they're much smaller. We would call that a crepe in English, just like it comes from the French.
Okay. Yeah. So
it doesn't really come from the French, it comes from the Florentines, but anyway.
The first one is a bit more difficult, sorry, as I told you.
Yeah.
Just trying to warm. So the first one is a bit of a, warming up.
Yeah, experiment.
Also for the pan to get the right temperature. Then you should place it in a dish, okay, just a normal dish. And then we're going to let them cool down a bit before placing the stuffing that we're going to prepare now in a short time. Okay. So also you should try not to leave them for too long. So you cannot do many other works at the same time because you need to pay attention that they cook properly, quite high flame. So it doesn't have to go slow, you have to be quite high. So that's why you should stay on the place and make sure they are turned over quite fast, flip it over quite fast. they burn quite easily because you have to work with high flame. If you cook them very low flame, they don't come out as crispy as they should.
Perfect.
Crespelle actually sounds similar to crispy, right? Crepes, Crespelle, so it's...
Livia, we've got our experts arrived. Carlo's here.
Ciao.
Ciao Carlo,
Hello.
come stai? Che
Bene,
bello!
grazie. Tu come stai?
Bene, ci vedremo quest'anno, lavoreremo insieme, ho visto.
Sì,
Great,
yeah.
we're going to work together. So.
I think we will work together in somewhere.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very good that Carlo came to rescue me, talking about bene e buono terms refer to food.
Bene,
I said
buono.
bene is an adverb and buono is an adjective. But I don't know, you go.
Yes,
I make Crespelle while you talk about this.
Bene is an adverb meaning that you use it to describe
food.
a verb.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
No, food is a noun, is a word. So you
because
need
in Italian you would say the food is dish is molto buono. You wouldn't say it's molto bene.
No.
And I was trying to understand why.
Yeah, because you say è cotto bene, it's cooked well, because cotto is an action, is a verb.
Yeah.
So bene. And food is a noun, is a word. So il cibo è buono.
Ah.
Yeah.
Porca miseria, sorry.
So, yeah, and if you want to say well done to Livia, you say brava, which means well done. Brava is only used with people or dogs. Good boy, good girl. But you cannot say un film bravo.
All right. Oh, but a cat.
A cat, yeah, everything animate. Animals, people. It means good skills, you know. It's about the skills. Ah, brava Livia.
Che buono.
Brava, I just broke it, so it's not very... No, it's just that I'm using a quite big pen and the hobby is not very... Comunque, anyway, you are there to entertain. While I... Le mai mangiate? Volevo chiedere a Carlo, have you ever, no, I don't know, now I'm embarrassed in English. That's why I like to talk in Italian with Carlo, so I'm not wrong. Have you ever tried Crespelle La Fiorentina?
No.
No? Ma, no, davvero?
No.
Strano.
You will cook it for me.
Yeah, Livia's the best one.
Perfect, va bene. Or you can try them tomorrow at home. You can follow this live, even from home.
Yeah, exactly.
You can watch it in the next phase.
I will watch it again and I will try it. And then I will send a picture, okay?
Very good. So we'll wait for the picture. I'm going to prepare the stuffing in a few seconds now. I turn this over. Hopefully this one, yes, it's just very hot. So, and I cannot really use the pan on the...
I'm going to teach my Italian lesson. I will stay here teaching Italian.
Yeah.
To Flavours.
Bravo.
Okay, bye. Enjoy.
Great, thank you.
Ciao Carlo. Ciao, ciao. Ciao.
That was a nice surprise. You've got Italian lessons as
well.
Good,
you got here at the right time.
Yeah, you did actually. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so now, meanwhile, I'm going to prepare the stuffing.
Perfect, okay.
Okay, while we're talking, I'm going to prepare the stuffing. So in the stuffing, there is just ricotta. As we were saying, this is a recipe from 1800, a little bit changed from the 1500 version, but is the version that we got now. So this is just cow ricotta that we break a bit with a spoon. We are then adding the spinach after we have squeezed them dry. And then we need one also... Well, it depends on how your cheese is. You can decide to add an egg in the middle of the mixture, let's say to make it a bit more solid. Otherwise, just ricotta and spinach by themselves with Parmigiano should be right. So now, even if the spinach are still quite warm, I'm going to sacrifice my hands. I know it's very warm. Okay, I don't know if I can make it, but you should cool them down a little bit. So maybe if you cool them down in cold running water is even better, because that way you keep the color more intense. Because after you've boiled a vegetable, you should always cool it down in cold running water or ice with ice cubes, so that the color stays very intense. In this case, just to do it faster, I'm doing it here to show you.
Could you use other vegetables? If you couldn't get spinach, could you use broccoli or different vegetables?
Allora, obviously this is a traditional recipe.
Okay.
You can use you can have your imagination to use different ingredients as you like. Sure, I think with broccoli could be nice. Obviously, we want to keep it light because Crespelle La Fiorentina are a light recipe. So if you add, I don't know, something heavy or complicated or a mixture of a lot of different vegetables with different flavors, you change completely the recipe. So I would use chard, spinach, or, but not a bitter vegetable for sure, because it's not the flavor we want to give it. But okay, now it's better. I think I've squeezed it enough, but you have to really make sure there's no water, otherwise the stuffing becomes very liquid. Then after you have reduced it into this amount, with your knife, ecco, I'm almost burn. You see, when you're doing too many things at a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think Claire was just saying she's just making her hungry. I know, Claire, it's terrible to watch at lunchtime on a Monday when we're all trying to be good at the start of the week, and Livia's trying to tempt us with sweet things and delicious food. It's tricky. Claire's, I think, off to Sicily. I noticed Claire's going to be tempted on another cooking holiday, which is great.
Where is she going?
She's going to Sicily, actually. Yep.
Ah, very good.
The competition with Bologna.
But yeah, a lot of competition between these regions. Okay, so next one. Okay, so you just dice it a little bit. Okay, I'm dicing the spinach a little bit.
Yeah.
Quite small.
While you're doing that, Livia, can I just check? Are you coming? We've got the wine tasting on Thursday night.
Sure. Yes. I always love wine tasting.
Yeah.
I will be home. Yeah. I love Nikki. I think I learn a lot every time I've listened to anything she says, and it makes you love what you're actually drinking and understand really.
Definitely. Yeah. So no, it's Thursday night. I'll pop the link if anyone's free Thursday night wants to join us online. We're doing wine tasting with Nikki, and then we usually always go into little breakout rooms as well. So it's always quite nice chance to meet other people and get to know some other. Some new people, which is nice. And usually there's a few of the Flavours team as well.
And what is the wine tasting about? Which is regional or?
No, this time she's just doing spring wines, basically, so wines for spring. And what she does is she gives a selection of sort of reds and whites, and they're wines you can buy in the supermarket. So very often it's Tesco's wine or wine you can get in Waitrose, and you can just buy one bottle, buy two bottles, just have something so you can enjoy a glass of wine. On the online class, so you don't have to buy lots of wines.
So she tells you the wines that will go, kind of the variety of.
Yeah, when you book online, then Kieran will send you the wine list, and again each time Nikki gives some suggestions for wine. She does some quite unusual ones. There was one she did, a Greek one actually, that I would never have picked, a Greek white wine, which is really nice actually. I think she got that one in Aldi or Lidl or somewhere, and it was really nice wine. So she's good. Most of the wines that she chooses are sort of, under £10. And the good thing is that people can just, have a look at the list, pick a bottle, and then have a glass on the night. And then, as I say, listen to Nikki's chat and pop into the breakout rooms. It's nice way to spend an evening and get to know some other people.
Great. So that's a new version of. We used to do it with themes. That was regional themes, right?
I think she's finished all the regions. We were in lockdown for a long time, Livia. We did lots of Italian regions, and now she does just spring wines, just some ideas.
Yeah, great. So this is just Parmigiano. A lot of Parmigiano that will melt while Crespelle cooks in the oven. Okay, so and then obviously some salt, because I didn't cook spinach with salt. And then there's just the cheese, and then some pepper, and an ingredient which is very important, which is nutmeg. Have you ever seen, Lauren, that in Italy, nutmeg always come with this little grater?
It's really sweet, isn't it? It's really cute. That filling reminds me, though, quite often you use a similar filling to that if you're doing stuffed
Pasta.
Pasta, yes. I was just thinking about it.
Tortelli or ravioli, I mean, this kind of stuffing. This is also the stuffing for ravioli in Florence, in Tuscany in general. So this is one kind of, you should add also one egg, sometimes a bit of breadcrumbs to make it more compact, and you stuff the tortelli with it, with this stuffing. This, is a general stuffing. That's why Artusi in the 1800s decided that this was the recipe that he was more likely to see when he was traveling around the Florence area. So, but originally the stuffing of Crespelle La Fiorentina were courgettes, because that was the vegetable available there at the beginning for countryside, for peasants, per i contadini. And okay, so I'm checking that I don't burn also the last.
Yeah. I was thinking,
I will show you.
Yeah, courgettes can be quite bland, but I remember, was it you used to do courgettes with sort of lemon, sort of grate courgettes with some lemon and some olive oil, and use it as an alternative to tomatoes for bruschetta?
Yes, that would be a way to serve courgette raw, which is really good, because it's just really courgette that you can keep in oil and then lemon and for a while, and we kind of, let's say, cook, so little by little. Now I'm checking it. I'll turn it down to make sure that I didn't burn it. Okay, so then I got here the crespelle, which are ready. They need to be this color, so not too dark and not too crunchy, just so they are called the crespelle because of the wrinkles, let's say, the ridges, I don't know, no, wrinkles maybe, that they make, and they have to be a bit, you see, make this sound, okay, crispy. Because they're called crespelle, like if they were crispy. Okay, I'm cooking the last one. While I'm cooking the last one, I'm going to start stuffing them. So here we got one. I'm going to, for example, this is more crispy on one side. I'm going to stuff this side. So they have to be folded in quarters like this.
All right. Okay. Like a piadina.
And that's because they were called pezzole, let's say, like a woman would have tied come si dice, Lorna? Un telo, to fold their hair, to keep their hair in. An handkerchief? No, I don't know how you call it. Anyway, a piece of textile. Comunque, I'm going to place some, and I'm doing it here on my hand so you can see it from closer. You spread it all over until the edge. Doesn't have to be too full. You should eat, if this is your first course, let's say 2 for each person. If they are as big as this, obviously the size of the crespelle depends on the size of the pan where you have made them. Okay, so if you make a big one like this and you serve also a main course, cioè a secondo, then I suggest you to serve just one. Okay.
Ah, perfect.
So fold it like this in quarters, and then we need a pan, a baking tray, as big as this, for example. I'm going to cook 4, I think. That we can grease with some bechamel. I've already made bechamel, which is here. I've made quite a light bechamel that has been waiting until now, so it got a bit thicker. But this is the bechamel. Okay.
So super. And thank you, Violet. And the word Livia is a headscarf.
Come si dice? Sorry.
A headscarf.
Okay, headscarf. Thank you. Okay,
Thanks,
thank you. Perfetto, thank you. It's like a game. They try to understand what I'm talking about. Very good. Okay, so now I take some bechamel and let's say, dirty, I would say in Italian, lo sporco, with a bit of bechamel. You can do the same with butter, it will be lighter, and then you risk to make the crespella too crunchy. So instead, I'm doing it with, I'm greasing the base with some bechamel, but you see very little. We're going to place bechamel on top after. Okay, back here. And now we are going to place them, okay, here in the baking tray. And even if they didn't come out perfectly round, it's fine. You just have to fold them in a way that the right surface is facing the top, so it is nicer to serve it. Okay.
And it's a great dish for vegetarians as well, isn't it? It's really good.
Yeah. As you were saying, you can stuff it with many different ingredients, but I think
Be traditional. Yeah.
this way, yeah.
Linda says she's going to make them tonight. Well, that's good. It's always good to get some ideas and some inspiration for what to cook for dinner, which is great.
Yeah, and when you make them, think that you're not making crepes, but you're making crespelle from Caterina de' Medici. Okay, so fold it over.
Perfect.
I'm doing just the fourth one. Okay.
And did you say, Livia, you're off to Sicily this afternoon?
Exactly, yeah, to Palermo, which is great. It's going to be warm weather. I can wait. I'm going to the market, to the food market.
Nice.
I think I will have a lot of inspiration for the future online 12 that we're going to do from Palermo.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. And
you feel like Castellamare del Golfo? Is that really lovely seaside resort? Just sort of
beautiful. Yeah, I know that Flavours is planning, a new location for our guests, right?
Yes, we are. Yeah. We've got a new venue actually. Yeah, just not far from Trapani. Yeah, hopefully.
Perfect.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to place some on top. So just because crespelle are going to cook in the oven, obviously, and they are going to kind of become even more crispy on top. So to make sure they don't get too crispy, okay, you can coat them with a bit spread some bechamel on top, so that they don't actually burn, and the cooking that they're going through is just really a melting of the cheeses that are on top. Now I'm going to also decorate them with some sage leaves.
Yeah.
And in the recipe, there might be also, you can do it also adding some tomato, and that's again a way to make sure that you won't burn, and also to give it a bit of color, but not much flavor. And you can also sprinkle them with some Parmigiano, and that way you will make them crispy, let's say even more crispy on top. I mean, the cheese will melt. Okay, I'm looking for a piece to grate, but actually I'm not finding it, so I'm just going to use some already grated.
Yeah, I just noticed in the comments, Mark's watching. Mark, one of our painting teachers. So he's
ciao, Mark.
For his fillings for tonight as well, which is great. Mark's off to Morocco actually shortly to teach one of our painting weeks in Morocco.
Wow, so you're going to Morocco. I'm going to place it in the oven, so just for 5 minutes. The oven is quite high, it's 180. I'm going to place it quite high level so that it will cook a little bit, become crispy even just in a few minutes while we're chatting, so that I can show you. It should be about 15-20 minutes. The ingredients just have to melt, and then you have to serve them hot. It's something you can rewarm the next day, obviously, and if you have it, add a little bit of bechamel on top. But you can keep them in also, for example, you can freeze them at this stage. You can freeze them and you have them ready anytime you want to serve something last minute, let's say. So it's a good fast recipe. We usually make it very fast, Lorna, this live. So.
Yeah, really fast. Yeah, really fast. Yeah, really
you can
fast.
take your time. If you leave the butter rest, and obviously it will be easier to make crespelle, and they will come out better because you need to rest about 15-20 minutes, and you should cook them lower temperature for about 15-20 minutes until the cheeses are melted and you can see it and they become a bit crispy on top. I'm trying to do it in a way that you can see the results now. Quindi you're going to Morocco. You said you're going to Morocco.
Yeah, that's right. We've got some Flavours groups. We've got a painting group with Mark actually at the start of March, and then a Pilates group with Mandy, and then a cooking group. So yeah, nice groups. We don't do very many trips to Morocco every year, just a few weeks. But yeah, amazing, lovely. And I
So
spoke
that
to
means you are going to stay there for 3 weeks? You going to Morocco?
No, just a couple of weeks. No, a couple of weeks. Yeah, but I'll be able
You
to.
will become very dark.
I think a little bit of sunshine. Yeah, the weather. I spoke to somebody the other day, and it's about 24 degrees. So yeah, Morocco should be sort of warm, which is great. But you're going to Sicily this afternoon, Livia. That'd be amazing as well. And actually, I remembered it's Castel a Mare del Golfo, the place.
Well, if there are many places called Castellammare, also in Naples area, so that's why I get confused. But I know Carla told me she found a beautiful venue there that Flavours is going to go to in the next part of the season. So not now, but I think at the end of this season, right? You're going to offer new location. I think our guests can't wait. So Lorna, they just need you to say something, because a lot of them would like to go many different places, like, for example, Sardinia.
I know too. I think now that things are kind of getting back, we're getting back to doing more travel, then definitely the Sicily villa, we had that on the list actually for 2020. It just didn't happen. So yeah, definitely Carla's got some ideas and she's got the villa found. So yeah, no shortage. And I think you've got some options for Umbria as well, Livia. So you've been doing some research for Umbria, which is always really popular. So yes. Beautiful. We're not short of any ideas.
There is a beautiful, I think that place is beautiful. Also, I think in our previous experience, the nicest area to go, not really Perugia area. I think it's more, I don't know, it's less special. I think Spoleto, so south of Umbria, is really nice. And we had a lovely experience.
Yeah, there's that lovely picture of you. Do you remember where the poppy fields where the poppy fields with the lentils?
Yeah, I remember. That's Castelluccio di Norcia. There is a national park area where we went to visit, and had all based on different kind of recipes with lentils. Yeah. And it was really nice, beautiful. Yeah, it's because lentils grows in an organic way there since many years. So they have developed a lot of seeds of wild plants. Wild plants that then become wild flowers in the middle of lentils, because they are an organic production since one of the first in Italy, many years. And that's why when the flowers are in bloom, end of June, there are special weeks where you should go there and see all the colors. And we have really nice pictures. I remember with Del, and I think Del will watch us and she will remember that we got a picture together in the field. But then also Spoleto is really beautiful. It's a nice, it's a little bit like, let's say, Treviso. It's like a new place to explore, like it's not well known, but is really as nice as a lot of other cities that you always hear about. And instead, these are really, I think, new places. So Spoleto, and I remember we were in AG, there was a wild asparagus festival, and there was Caroline there, I think Marshall, and we went there, two of our, come si può dire, historical guests. No, I don't know how you call it.
Guests.
Guests. I think we're talking about 15 years ago, and we went to the Asparagus Festival all together, and we had a lot of fun. Yeah. So it's a nice area.
I'll post it up. Actually, I think I have a couple of pictures from the Umbria trips, which is nice. Yeah, no, it's good. Great. And so is lunch ready then, Livia?
Yes. Sorry. When I'm talking too much, and then I burn everything. Yes, it's ready, kind of. I mean, I can show you the result, and then obviously it would be nice if they could cook a little bit longer, but that's the result. Now, when everything is ready, you can see the sun is shining in my window, and can you see it well? Yeah, or should I? Yeah.
No, it's lovely. That's great. And you said there's a recipe. I can pop the recipe up on the link after.
Yeah. So, cook it, taking its time. If you cook it for about let's say 15 minutes, they will become crispy on top even more, but not burn, because you place some bechamel on top, and then just eat them hot and serve them as a main course, as a primo, I would say. So.
Yeah. And that was it was a sage leaf, wasn't it, that you put on the top? It wasn't basil, it was sage.
Yeah,
leaf.
Just sage, because it was an idea of a decoration, just to
Yeah.
make sure that you recognize that one, which they are quite big and quite stuffed. So one is enough for one person in this case, because they are quite big. Sorry, the sun is
I know, it's lovely. Yeah,
very bright.
I know.
It's really,
Super.
really
Well,
sunny.
it was great,
anyway.
Livia. It was great to chat. We'll see you on Thursday for the wine tasting. If anybody wants to join the wine, I'll pop the link for the wine tasting Thursday. If anybody didn't get a magazine, one of the Flavours winter edition magazines, again, let us know and we can put one out in the post.
I would like to get one, but maybe I should come there and take it.
Come and get it. And we got our Italian language sorted out. We've had quite a busy cooking lesson today, Livia, which is great. It was all molto buono. Got the right words. Which is fab. Super. Well, lovely to see everybody. Thanks for all the comments. Good to catch up on a Monday. Good start to the week. And enjoy your week. And we'll see you next Monday and see what Livia's going to be cooking. Do you know what you're cooking next week, or will I not ask you?
Not yet, because I'm getting inspiration from Palermo. My 3 days in Palermo from today.
Perfect. Yeah, good. Have a lovely trip to Sicily. Post some pictures so we can.
I will take some food back that I will cook with, so that we can do a real live from the place.
Well, that's great. Good. Okay, look forward to that next Monday. Okay, take care, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks, Livia. Bye-bye.